So yeah, just spending my money on my own beer. It's my own money, so why not?
Yes, I hear you. So it's your money, and she has a problem with how you're spending your money.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Have you had this conversation with her that you feel like it's your money and that you should be able to spend it on what you choose to spend it on?
Oh yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
And how did that go?
I walked out, went back to my place, and got another 6-pack.
And how did she respond?
A couple of days later, she called to check in on me to make sure I was okay, and I told her I was fine, and we started talking again.
Okay. So what are some things that y'all like to do together? Do y'all spend a lot of time together? How often would you say that you see her?
I see her about 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh, okay.
We'll go out to eat, or we'll go to the movies, or every now and then we might take her to a baseball game or something like that. So that's about it.
And how does that usually go? Like when y'all go places together? Is it usually pretty positive?
Oh yeah, it's fine. We'll go eat. We'll go to one of my favorite places to go is a steakhouse. We'll go there and get a nice T-bone and one of those 32-ounce Bud Lights on tap they have there. It's cold. We finished 1 or 2 of those before I end up taking her back.
And how does she usually respond when you get her? Is she okay with ones you get in restaurants?
I don't know. We don't really talk too much, so.
Okay, so when you're sitting in a restaurant and you order it, there's not really much conversation.
No, not really.
Okay. Okay. Well, it sounds to me like it's kind of coming down to Monica versus your desire to spend your money how you would like to, especially when it comes to beer or alcohol. Okay. So if you don't mind, I was thinking that I might have like a little pros cons chart on the whiteboard, and we might explore this.
Okay.
What do you think?
That'll be fun.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so what do you think are some of the advantages to being with Monica?
Advantages with being her? Well, the sex is pretty good.
Okay. Okay.
Her family has money. So.
Okay. Can you think of any more?
She's pretty good looking too. So.
Okay.
When I take her out places, people always look at her. It makes me feel good to know that I got a pretty good looking girlfriend.
So you like how you look when you're together. Okay.
She's definitely a double looker.
Okay. So is there anything else you can think of that you find rewarding about being with her?
No, we're not together too much, so no, not really.
Okay. So I know that y'all were contemplating moving in together, and you seem to have a lot of a big hesitation about doing that. So besides the sex and the money and how you feel like you look together, you can't think of anything else that...
No.
Okay. What about the cons? So what are things that you feel hinder your enthusiasm about this relationship?
Her nagging.
Okay.
Definite nagging.
Okay. And you had said her problem with your beer consumption.
Well, that goes back to nagging because that's all she does about it is nag.
So she nags a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nags about me drinking. Nags about the way I spend my money.
Oh, okay.
Nags about me wanting to not make success out of myself and blah 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 blah.
Okay, so she nags you about money. She nags you about your drinking.
She thinks I'm lazy.
She thinks you're lazy. Anything else?
No.
No? Okay. So, to you, and so she wants to move together.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one pushing for this. Are those your primary hesitations for doing that?
No, my hesitation is when I drink, I have a tendency of getting violent,
Okay.
and I don't want to hurt her, but I don't want to give up my drinking.
Okay. And I think that's a very important thing to realize about yourself and about your situation with Monica. Have you had that conversation? That you don't want to quit drinking, that you do enjoy being with her, but your concerns, you have serious concerns.
Mm-hmm. We've had that talk.
And how did she respond?
She sent me here.
Okay. Okay. So looking at the pros and cons of your current relationship,
Mm-hmm.
what are your thoughts?
I'm happy the way it is.
But she's not, correct?
Correct.
And that's why you feel like you're here, is because she's not happy with
She told me to come here. All right.
Okay. So what are you hoping to get out of being here?
Make her happy.
So it's important to you that she's happy?
If she knows that there's nothing wrong with me, that the relationship is fine the way it is, then she'll get off my back about moving in. So.
Okay, so what if she doesn't get off your back about moving in? Despite the fact that we do see each other every week and that we are discussing this, do you think that she's going to change her mind about wanting to move in together?
I hope so.
You hope so. So what do you think it'll look like if she doesn't? So where do you see your relationship with Monica going?
Does it have to go anywhere?
I don't know. I guess that's up to y'all. What do you think she wants?
Well, she wants to get married.
Oh, okay. And what about you? How do you feel about getting married?
I'm happy the way it is right now.
Okay, and I think that's important. I think that's important that you recognize that. Have you communicated that to her?
Mm-hmm.
You have.
She sent me here.
Okay.
Because she thinks I have commitment issues.
When really what I've heard you say is that you're content with the way things are, and that underscoring that is the fear that you will eventually get violent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So.
Because I don't want to give up my drinking.
Okay. So it looks like drinking is a huge factor in your relationship, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Do you get the impression that she wants you to stop drinking?
Well, I guess that would be where most of the nagging comes from, so yeah.
Does she nag about you drinking at a specific time? I know that you had said that she doesn't like the money you spend on your alcohol consumption.
She nags about me drinking on specific days. Like any day that ends in Y.
Okay. So she has complaints about both the amount of money you're spending and the amount of time you spend drinking. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But again, it's my money, so I should be able to spend it the way I want to. What's that commercial? It's your money, use it the way you want to.
Mm-hmm.
That's my money, I want to use it when I want to. So, I mean, I'm not lazy. I work, I have a job. I go to this construction company down the street, and I make $10 an hour. I've been there for about 7 or 8 years, and I pay my apartment rent on time and everything, and I use my extra money to take care of the food and take care of my dog and take care of my beer.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not hurting anybody.
Okay, so I guess what I'm hearing is that the biggest struggle you're having is that y'all have different goals in mind for this relationship, for how you would like to see it progress. Okay. And have y'all ever tried to sit down and talk about the differences and where you see your relationship going?
Well, that's why I'm here.
Together, you and her together.
Together?
Monica. Like, have y'all ever talked, like, actually had a conversation about...
You mean, like, gone to a couples therapy session or something like that?
Or not even that formal. Just both you and Monica together, maybe at dinner or just together, period, and y'all both discuss where you would like to do this. Because I know, obviously, she has mentioned that she would like to get married and that she would like y'all to live together. And have you vocalized? I mean, how have y'all actually had a conversation where y'all are honest about what y'all want for the future?
That's the confusion, because, like I said, I keep telling her that I'm not ready because I don't want to get married until I give up drinking. But I'm not at a point in my life where I'm ready to give up drinking. So she thinks it's a commitment issue.
Okay. So how comfortable would you feel maybe inviting her in here with us, and maybe we could have this conversation together? And since you seem, a big motivator seems to be her desire for you to be here, what if we invited her for a session or two? It's completely up to you. And we might have a conversation, the three of us. Or y'all two can have a conversation, and I will just be here for support if necessary.
I'd like that.
Would you?
Yeah, because I know, we've been talking for a couple of weeks now, and you've only got me more convinced that I probably don't need to be in a relationship with her. And I know that's not what she's going to want to hear. She's going to want to know that I'm coming here for you to talk me into giving up my commitment issues and getting married to her. So if I go 5 or 6 sessions with you and end up being completely convinced that the relationship is not going to work, she's going to think that you're probably a very terrible counselor. But I see what you're getting at, is that might be her desire, but she's not the one in treatment. I am, so my desire is what matters, right?
And I think the self-awareness that you are demonstrating is really a strength of yours. The more we've talked, the more I've seen you recognize that y'all may not have the same goals.
So if my desire is to never get married and just keep drinking, you would support that?
I can't say that I would support your devotion to alcohol, but I think that being aware of what you want in life and what you don't want, like marriage, is definitely somewhere to start.
Okay.
And again, your self-awareness and you knowing your limitations is huge. And at this point, you have communicated that you do not feel ready to cohabitate with somebody. And that marriage is really not something that you are looking forward to in the future.
Yeah, that's before we started counseling. That's what we were talking about.
Okay.
So if I bring her in next week, I'm going to surprise her. I'm going to tell her things are going great, and I can't wait to have her in the session so all three of us can get together, and you and I can both tell her that it's probably not going to work out.
And how do you think that will go?
She'll be shocked. She might be upset. But at least she'll know, she'll believe. Because right now she doesn't believe me. She thinks that I just have commitment issues.
So do you think it's the best idea to lead her on before she gets here? Or can you think of maybe a different way that you could prepare her for coming here without starting something by letting her know how you truly feel? Um,
So tell her that the counselor and I have talked and have decided that the relationship is not going to work, but we still want her to come so we can tell her.
well, that's one option, but maybe one that would be less harmful and more productive in the actual session next week might be just letting her know that through in our discussion, we thought that maybe it might be useful if all three of us could get together and talk about your future together and any plans and differences that y'all might have without really giving a lot of details.
Okay.
And that way, she knows what it's about and she's preparing herself to come, and yet it's not a huge surprise when she gets here. How does that sound?
I can do that.
Good. How do you feel about that?
I feel okay, yeah.
Okay.
Get her here and then all three of us can decide what the next plan of action would be from this point. Thank you, counselor.